Hey, how's it going? Mark Smittles. When I'm cutting, I'm wearing my mask, I'm right up on the stone, and I'm usually about this far away. So if you're wondering why I see what I see or how I can get the detail I can, that's one of the clues. These gloves, especially if you have a paper cut or some injuries on your hand, I do neglect to put them on while I'm cutting, and I shouldn't. You should protect your hands, protect everything else. You don't want to get shards of rock embedded in there. You can get a nice heavy-duty set of gloves, fairly inexpensive, that allows you a good grip on the stone while you're going. And especially when you're working with diamond compound or different polishing compounds, cerium oxides and stuff, that's something that you just don't want coursing through your blood anyway. So I'm going to get down to polishing. Alright, I did a little bit of polishing on this already because it's up close work and it's really hard to be taking video of it. Some of the things that I've been using to this point, here's a Nova point. This is a 160 grit, nice, durable. It helped me to get into these little nooks and crannies, these crevices. And I also just really enjoy the Diathin and Diaflex. Same concept, allows me to work dry. I use the coarse of each one, and it also just leaves a nice smooth finish. These are some sintered 600 grit points from Diamond Pacific. The 600 when I was finished, obviously, is used 80 grit to get there, 220 to get closer, and then I finish up with the 600. Then when I'm finished, that's when I hit it with the Nova or the Diaflex or the Diathin. And then the next step, I use 14,000 grit Diamond Pacific polish. I use just a dollop. You really don't need much. It's probably a third the size of a pea at most. Apply a little to the brush, charging the brush, apply a little to the stone, and you want to make sure you're using separate heads every time you polish. When I use this for 14,000, it's only for 14,000, and I clean the stone thoroughly before I start working. I don't want to introduce rock dust. I don't want to introduce dirt that's going to keep scratching it as I go. And when I go, I'm working up close. As I start to spread the polish and apply it, sorry, let me get that. This will be a gentle rotation. Light, smooth. It's barely the weight of the head of the bristle itself. I'm just basically using the weight of this handle, and the trick is you want to keep control over the stone so it doesn't fly out of your hands, so that it doesn't skip across the top. And so I'm choking up on my dop stick, I'm choking up on the stone so that I have more control over it. And try to make sure that I'm addressing all those curves that I spent time doing with the bits, so I'm not leaving any tool marks or any hash marks. So you're going to have to spend extra time in the valleys. Again, just light pressure. Just trust your tools, trust the polish. And let me give this a wipe real quick. You'll start to see see if we can get that to focus. There we go. So it's always going to be positional because there's those little peaks and valleys. You're going to get different colors from different angles. Right now I've got a green-purple thing going on there. There's some blue. There's some yellow. It's really amazing. So this is the Aguascalientes Fire Agate, Mexican Fire Agate that I've been selling. This is out of a lot of smalls. 1 pound a lot of smalls that I was just going to put out. So I was just demoing a small handful of stones, and after I cleaned the mud off I could see a tinge of blue and purple, and this is just how it happens. So you wind up with a little ringstone. Yeah, you have to put it on a dop stick. It's not a big old monster, but you wind up with a pretty smaller stone. Anyhow, so what I'll do now is I'm going to take the stone and wash it with a little bit of dish soap. A little bit of Dawn is my favorite because it really cuts the grease from inside the polish. Wash it completely. Make sure it's squeaky clean. Give it a dry. Clean up my workspace. Make sure that there's no excess polish on the head. Swap them out. And then I'm going to switch over to a 50,000 grit polish. When I'm done with that, I'm going to call it done. Very rarely do you have to go above that. After 14,000 it'll appear glassy, and after 50,000 it's going to have a brilliant luster. It'll look like water when it's done properly. So thank you for watching Mark's Minerals videos. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, please, and we'll see more. And have a great evening, and email me your questions if you have any. mark.ruiz.fireagate@gmail.com, and check us out at marksminerals.org. Thank you.